everyone, welcome to Super Health Podcast.
And I living.
My name is Dr. Samuel Santok,
And my name is Amanda Banayot.
and in today's episode, we are going to talk about SIBO. But first, where can you find us, Amanda?
Well, you can find us on different platforms. For example, on Instagram at yuma.yogamedicinal, at Dr. Samuel Santok, and at UIM Medicinal Yoga. And if you have any questions or want to have a consultation or whatever you feel like, you can write us at info@yogamedicinal.com. That is our email. And if you would like to contact us through WhatsApp, that is our phone number on the screen.
And you can
And
find also the phone number in our website that
okay,
is there. So
yes. And you can also hear or like listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and press on the bell icon so that you can get notifications of when we post new videos.
okay, thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome.
We are going to talk about first of all, what is SIBO? SIBO is the diminutive of a small intestinal bowel overgrown. Well, what is that? Is the when some bacteria grow in one part of your small intestinal that doesn't have to be there. It's
Okay.
easy. It's easy the
Yeah.
concept of SIBO in that way.
So
Why this?
bacteria that has overgrown in a certain area in our gut.
Yes, 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 and
Okay.
it is it's very important, but not in all our gut because one of the things that happen is SIBO is that is alterate or increase the presence of the bacteria in the proximal small intestine
Okay. So
near the stomach.
okay.
And one of the things that is happening that those things alter the functions that are performance in the relationship between the bacteria and the digestive tract, and that's the problem.
Okay. Okay. So could we say that it alters the absorption of foods? Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Not only that, that is going to affect the barrier defense, is going
Okay.
to cause leaky gut,
Okay.
and it's going to affect the regulation of electrolytes, water absorption, and it's going to break the homeostasis of the gastrointestinal tract has
Okay.
or overall because the bacteria have to be in the colon, not in the duodenum. That is what is
Okay.
happening. So
Okay.
we want you like to show you how to differentiate the SIBO in a scientific way.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you this study. It was published in European Molecular Biology Organization in 2006,
Six. Yeah.
2006, a long time ago, as you can see.
Yeah. Yes.
Walk through this, Amanda.
Okay. So you can see that we can have in the stomach like the 10 to the power of 1 or 10 to the power of 3 of colonally
Colony forms units.
forming units per milliliter. And then in the duodenum, the same, like 10 to the power of 1 to 10 to the power of 3 of colony forming units per milliliter. In the colon, it's 10 to the power of 11 or to the power of 12.
Yes.
And in the jejunum or the ileum, it's 10 to the power of 4, 10 to the power of 7 of colony forming units per milliliters.
Yes, and one of the things that happen with the kind of bacteria that are in all this environment that there are anaerobic bacteria and aerobic bacteria. For example, there are bifidobacterium, there are Clostridium, there are Bacteroides, there are Eubacterium, there are that is the anaerobic bacteria, and the aerobic bacteria are Escherichia, Enterococcus, Streptococcus, Klebsiella. Normally, the aerobic ones they are in little. There are not a lot of them in
Okay, so
the
there's not a big population of them.
no, but they are very important for our health. Yes.
Okay, so what I was going to ask you is when we're saying like 10 to the power of 1, that is the number of like population that there is of that bacteria in that area of the like the
Yes,
stomach.
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's like the physiology. That is the number of bacteria that need to be in that specific part of the intestine.
Okay.
So if you can
And
see in those numbers, the quantity of bacteria in the colon is higher than in the duodenum, than in the ileum,
yes, stomach, yeah.
than in the jejunum.
Okay.
So in a very good way, you can say a scientific definition of SIBO is that in quantitative terms, it is classified being defined by the presence of 10 on the power of 3 variant depending on authors of colony forming units in the proximal small intestine.
Okay.
So if you have in the duodenum 10 of power of 3 more of that, that's
Yeah.
a problem.
Okay.
And that problem is going to affect all the organs that are around near the duodenum. For
Okay.
example, they're going to affect the pancreas, they are going to affect the liver, it's going to affect the stomach. And that's the problem.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So, one
And
of the things.
can I ask you what is the difference between the anaerobic and the aerobic bacterias?
Yes. The anaerobic bacteria are the ones who doesn't need oxygen to live. And
Okay.
the aerobic bacteria are the ones who need oxygen to live. If
Okay.
you can see in that part of the intestine, for example, in the jejunum or ileum, there is very hard for the oxygen inside the intestinal tube to go there. So
Okay.
that is like the environment of the anaerobic bacteria. For
Okay.
example,
All right.
the Escherichia live there.
Okay.
We laugh about the Escherichia because it's very common
Yes.
in the human population to suffer from infection from Escherichia.
Yeah.
So it's very important this.
Yes.
So and one of the things that you are asking is why is this important? And the important is what are the symptoms that is occurring to a patient who has SIBO? What is
Okay.
happening? And we need to focus on where is the problem. The problem is in the duodenum. Okay, we are near the stomach, we are near the exit of the pancreas and the exit of
The
of
liver.
the gallbladder.
Yeah.
Gallbladder? Yes.
The
Gallbladder.
gallbladder. Gallbladder.
Gallbladder.
Yeah.
Gallbladder.
Yes.
So one of the problems is that all bacteria is going to digest the fiber,
Okay.
and they are like more a lot of bacteria that are supposed to be in the colon. So one of the things that is happening that a lot of gas is going to be accumulated there.
Yes.
So
So that's when like people experience bloating.
yes, yes. But because for in that point of the anatomy in the stomach, it's very hard for the gas to leave the body.
Okay.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
So in the colon, it's easier for the
Because it goes down.
because this goes down and there is the rectum and the anus to live there.
Yes. Yes.
And it's very important
Explained
because
very clearly. Yes.
but there when you are in but when those bacteria produce gases, they accumulate there, and
Okay.
those pressures start to swelling the muscle in the stomach,
Yeah. So that's when there's
and
like a distension.
distension.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The symptoms are dyspepsia, flatulence, nausea, swelling, abdominal pain. Upstairs in more severe cases, there are diarrhea or constipation,
Okay.
or there are nausea, but they are like the
Yes, fine.
severe ones. But in the
Okay.
physiology, one thing is happening that this accumulation of gases, because there are a lot of bacteria in this part, is going to affect the liver, is going to affect the pancreas, and it's going to affect the immunological barrier.
Okay.
And it's going to cause leaky gut because this pressure is going
That,
to break down the
yeah.
tight junctions, and that's the
Yes,
problem.
because it wants to get out.
Yes, 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 yes.
Exactly.
We want to show you which one are the short-term consequences of this. So
Okay.
let's start with this, okay? Short-term consequences of SIBO first.
Okay.
So here we are. First one, Amanda.
So we have fat malabsorption with consequent steatorrhea and loss of fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamins, yes.
What is steatorrhea? I need to open my mouth wildly because my natural language is Spanish. We don't say open our mouth wildly, so
Yes,
the
exactly.
word doesn't come out in English. Steatorrhea, okay. Steatorrhea is when there are fat in the issues,
On the stool?
on the stools. Yes,
On
yes,
the
yes, yes.
stools, okay.
On the
So
stools.
when you
That
see like your stools like floating, or you
yes.
can even notice like that there is kind of like fat in the water,
Yes, that
that's
is
when you're
yes, because the SIBO with the bacteria, the presence of a lot of bacteria and the presence of gases is going to affect the absorption of fat,
okay.
and what the things that you don't absorb is going to be in the water. So,
Exactly. Yes.
so
And the
you're going to
toilet.
see it in the toilet.
Yes.
So you're going to see it. Next one.
Yes. So you have mild hypoproteinemia, like proteins in the blood, that's what it
Yes.
means,
Yes.
and rarely leading to severe malnutrition if there is no other intestinal disease.
Yeah, yes. Hypoproteinemia is like how you are not absorbing the amino acids because there are like a lot of bacteria that is like blocking the absorption of nutrients.
Yeah.
You're going to be weak. That's why one of the symptoms are weakness and tiredness because
Okay.
you having malnutrition
Okay.
when this is happening.
So
Next one.
even if you're eating the right foods, you're having malnutrition because you're not being able to absorb it because you have SIBO.
Yes, it's very important because in earlier episodes we talk about how how the stress causes the destruction of the microbiome, and one of the
Yes.
things that happen with dysbiosis is that it can be related with SIBO,
Okay.
but not all SIBOs are related with dysbiosis.
Okay.
So it's very important to have, for example, you can eat well, but if you are stressed, you can have good bacteria, but those bacteria can cause SIBO.
Yes. Exactly.
It's because
Exactly.
because they are dysregulated because the mechanisms that happen with the one of the things that happen in the digestion, that the digestion is a parasympathetic system function,
Okay.
and when we are stressed, it's the sympathetic system that is working, so it's
Okay.
contrary. So
Okay.
that's alteration in the nervous system because of chronic stress is going to produce that the natural mechanisms of controlling the bacteria lost
Will be lost. Yeah.
will be lost.
Okay.
So it's very important. So
Okay.
let's continue with the short-term consequences. So we
Okay.
talk about the lack of vitamins, the fat in the stools,
Yes.
the hypoproteinemia, ¿vale? That
Okay.
you're not going to have the formation of proteins in our blood and in our cells, and
Okay.
that's going to affect the function in your body.
Okay.
Next one.
Okay. Cobalamin. So it's vitamin B12 deficiency.
Yes, it's very important because in the ileum and in the duodenum, all the B vitamins are absorbed, and this one of the things that is happening that this deficiency is going to cause migraines, is going to cause us headaches, It's going
Okay.
to, and if it's severe, it could also cause depression and anxiety. So
Okay.
it's very important because
Yes.
actually some people that doesn't some people that have SIBO
Okay.
doesn't have like stomach ache or bloating or flatulation, but they have migraines, they have
Yeah.
headaches, they have depression, they feel sad but they don't know why, and it could be a deficiency of this vitamin
Okay.
in our body. Next one.
Okay. Okay. Normal or slightly elevated levels of vitamin K and vitamin B9, folate, due to their production by bacteria.
Yes, and this is like a disbalance. In this case, one of the things that's happening with the body, the work of homeostasis says all. All the body works in equilibrium.
Okay.
So an excess or a lack of a vitamin or a substance is going to cause to alter the body. For
Yeah, it's
example,
gonna
when you
happen.
have excess of B9 or vitamin K, one of the problems is that it's going to affect the liver and it's going to affect the bone. It's very
Okay.
important because one of the consequences are long term are osteoporosis, osteoporosis,
Osteoporosis. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
osteoporosis for the excess of that.
Okay.
Okay, okay. And I'm going to show you like this like square. It was published in a band chronic disease. This is more recent, not so recent. It was 10 years ago. So it's very important. Then he has like a resume in all the body of the clinical manifestation of the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Hashtag SIBO.
Okay.
¿Vale?
Okay.
For example, no specific symptoms: bloating, flatulence, abdominal discomfort, diarrhea, abdominal pain. But if you can see, this could be related with another things. That's
Okay.
why they are not specific, because if you have leaky gut syndrome, you can have these symptoms.
Okay.
And, and when you have intestinal bowel disease, you can have these symptoms too.
Okay.
But it's very important. But there are signs of malabsorption in extreme cases that is going to be the weight loss, the diarrhea, the malnutrition, and the alteration in the bone occurring in altrachia or osteoporosis.
Okay.
What are the clinical associations? Irritable bowel syndrome, rosacea, restless leg syndrome, and when they are lacking those vitamins, you're going to have deficiency syndromes. But that is like very big to talk about in this, but you have to
Okay.
keep it. We can talk about this in another episode, the deficiency syndromes, the
Okay.
specific deficiency of one vitamin. For example, when it's lacking vitamin D, for
Yes.
example. Okay?
Which is very
Okay?
important. Yeah.
Yes, it's very important for in these cases.
Yeah.
So one of the things that the people is going to ask is, what are the causes of SIBO? It's very important, like to make a point in
Okay.
these specific causes. And I'm going to show you this. Let's start with our list, the causes of SIBO. The first one are
So hyperhydrocarbon diets.
when the people eat a lot of sugar and bread.
Yes. So a lot of carbohydrates in your diet.
Yes. And we talk about the SAT diet, the standard American diet.
Yes.
The standard American diet are with a lot of processed hydrocarbon.
Yeah.
So
Products. Yeah.
is very important, this one. I'm going to say the next one. The next one is mono diets, little nutrition variability.
Yes.
That is the picky patient that I only
Yes.
eat
Yes.
broccoli and fish, broccoli and
Yes.
fish, broccoli and
I
fish.
remember. I remember in your one of the seminars that you taught us that how important it is that if we want to have like different, like a good colony of different bacteria, we have to eat a lot of different things so that our guts have somewhere to populate from, like from different things, not just broccoli and fish.
Yes, because I
Like,
say, oh, but I eat broccoli and fish, that is a healthy food. Yes, but you are only eating broccoli and fish, and the
so you're going to have,
bacteria that is
yeah,
going to grow in your stomach and in your duodenum and in your colon are bacteria that can metabolize broccoli and fish
yes.
and nothing else.
So exactly. So whenever you eat anything else, you have like a big reaction, and you're wondering, "Oh my God, I'm allergic to that. I can't eat that."
Yes, and that is not true because it's the reaction of the bacteria of something that is unknown for them.
Yes, exactly. They're not
Yeah,
used
yes,
to it.
yeah, not
Yeah.
used to it. Yes, 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 is great. Yes,
Yeah.
and let's continue with this. Um, that one thing that is we can talk about this in another episode, Amanda.
Okay.
The next one
Yes.
R is
So the exocrine pancreatic insufficiency.
yes. Can
So,
you walk through this?
well, I would say that it's when your pancreas is not working properly. So, um, I'm not sure what the exocrinic is.
Exocrinic,
So
yes. The exocrinic pancreas doesn't throw out the sufficient enzymes to
exactly. So it's,
digest.
yeah.
Yes, yes. It can
So
be a cause and a consequence. If you have
exactly.
SIBO, you can produce an exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. And if you
Okay.
have exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, you can have a SIBO because one of the things that's happening with the digestive enzymes that destroy the bacteria
Exactly.
because all the living things are composed of fat, hydrocarbon, amino
Protein.
acids, proteins.
Yes. Yes.
So
Exactly.
one of the things that happen with the pancreas is that control the overpopulation of bacteria in our duodenum.
Exactly. And also the pancreas, if you only stimulate it with broccoli and fish, then it's going to stop creating the enzymes that could help you digest all the other foods,
Yeah.
because it doesn't see the need to keep creating so many enzymes. If you're only eating broccoli and fish, then it's like, okay, then he only needs or she only needs the enzymes to digest broccoli and fish.
Yes.
Yes.
That is in the best case because all the people, some people eat only pizza and hamburgers. So,
I know. I know. Yeah.
one two causes we talk. One of them talk in another episode that is the dysbiosis.
Yes.
So that could cause SIBO. And the next one is very specific. That is drugs that decrease intestinal motility. For
Okay.
example, narcotics, anticholinergic drugs, antidiarrheal drugs,
Yeah.
because they are going to stop the natural movement of the bowel. So
Yeah.
the bacteria get trapped there, and I'm still
Exactly.
here. And they say, it's good here. Let's populate this.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
I'm going to say this is very important. So let's continue with with our list of causes of SIBO because this is very important for the people to know.
Okay.
Next one.
Hypo or achlorhydria, lack of or absence of gastric acid due to surgery, for example, or autoimmune gastritis, or due to proton pump inhibitor antacids.
That is very common. That last one is very common
Okay.
because when, for example, that is another cause that we're going to take. I think that is the next one. When the people, for example, get amygdalitis, get they take antibiotics.
Okay.
So when they take antibiotics, the medical prescribe the proton pump inhibitor antacids because
Okay.
the that but one of the things that's happening when the people has gastritis, for and this dysbiosis, that's going to the the medical doctor is going to prescribe this drug. So
why do they prescribe the proton pump inhibitor antacids?
it doesn't have a lot of sense actually because
Okay.
and we can talk about this when in one episode if you like. You can leave a comment if you wanted to talk about the physiology of the stomach,
Okay, yeah, for
and
example.
we can talk about the physiology and the stomach. And for to keep it simple, what I think is important that the pH of the stomach is acid.
Okay.
So it is absorbed. That the problem is the acid in the stomach because the main function of the stomach is to produce acid. It's
Yes,
the physiology
to break down the food.
to bring down the food. But when you're having a dysbiosis in the stomach, one of the bacteria that appear is the Helicobacter.
Yeah.
Yes, and when there are Helicobacter in the stomach, the Helicobacter is going to live there, and the Helicobacter, and it's going to change the environment in the stomach because
Okay.
he's destroying the wall
Yes. So
in the
the
stomach.
stomach lining.
Yes,
Stomach
yes,
lining.
yes, 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 because he protects from the acid. That's the
Okay.
problem because I see when I saw when we studied the Helicobacter pylori.
Yeah.
I like how that sounds in
Yeah.
English. Pylori, Helicobacter, the H. pylori,
Yes.
is going to protect from the acid. And what is the response of the brain and the immune system to secrete more acid?
Okay.
And that's the problem, really. The problem is not the acid, the problem is that there is a bacteria that is causing them. And you can see the loop there. You have the bacteria, you have the dysbiosis, you have the drought, and it's like it's going to cause the gastritis and this. Also, one of the things that happen in clinic that at the end of the gastritis, the patient is having a SIBO.
Okay.
When you treat a gastritis in a medical way, a traditional medical way, one of the
Yeah.
things is happening that at the end the patient is going to suffer from SIBO.
Okay. All right.
So it's because of that cycle.
Yes. Because there's a big dysregulation with everything.
Yes, 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 and this is very important. Okay, next one.
Okay, so this is associated with pathologies such as diabetes, scleroderma, and amyloidosis.
And a lot of pathology more like Hashimoto thyroiditis, like autoimmune thyroiditis, also arthritis,
Okay.
or multiple sclerosis.
Multiple
Okay?
sclerosis, yes.
Yes, yes. Okay. I think that this is the last one. Post-surgical structural changes such as ileocecal valve transection, gastric bypass, or windy rows. That is procedures that the people get through, for example, an accident or a cancer in the colon and in the stomach, that is a specific surgery. So this is
Okay.
a consequence of this. So
Okay.
one of the things that is important for the people to know that there are two types of SIBO. Okay, okay, because the question that we have to say that the first thing is that those bacteria causes gases. But
Okay.
what are those gases? What are those gases? One gases is hydrogen,
Hydrogen,
hydrogen, and the other are methane.
methane. Okay.
Methane. Those gases
Okay.
are those two. So, how we diagnose SIBO, knowing that those gases are the specific gases that the bacteria produce in the duodenum.
So undergoing tests that measure the levels of hydrogen or methane.
Yes, yes, yes. The easy way is how is in the high part of the proximal intestinal. With the breath test, you
Breath
can
test. Okay.
you can measure the quantity of methane or hydrogen in the body of the person who is having a
Okay.
SIBO.
Okay.
And this is very important to know because, but I like more to look at the symptoms and the patient
Okay.
and seeing like a whole. Okay, if your liver is working, your pancreas is working, how are your tools? Talking to the patient, not to
Yes.
look at the first test and go and because there you can't have a positive test of SIBO because it's not very specific one. It, it,
Exactly.
it, it is good, but it's not very specific. Okay. One of the things is happening when you breathe out the gases. It's going to show you the quantity of gas of in a differentiation.
Each one. Okay.
Which one? Which one gas is
Yeah.
going to be? It's going to be high hydrogen or
Or
high methane.
methane. Okay.
Um, and for that we say that there are three types of SIBO.
Okay.
That is the H SIBO, the M SIBO, and the mix SIBO. And you know
Okay.
why. And the mixed
Okay.
one. And the mixed one.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to show you how the test look like for our viewers. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see how the test look. For it's very important for you as a patient if you have SIBO to know how it look the test. For example, the test measure the quantity particles per million of the gas.
Okay.
Particle per million of the gas. So, in this case, this patient is positive from hydrogen SIBO because in the 2 hours later, the I didn't explain this. One one of the things that how do you do the test first? And the patient have to drink monocarbohydrate called lactulose. That
Lactulose. Okay.
that lactulose is not going to be absorbed in the duodenum. It's going to be in the in the duodenum, and the bacteria is going to metabolize that product. And
Okay.
in 2 hours later, we can see the changes in the breath test.
Okay. So depending on how the bacteria reacts to it, we see that it has like it's secreting hydrogen, so we know that it's an H SIBO, for
Yes, and
example.
yes, and this is very important because when we do this, we know the type of bacteria that is causing the SIBO.
Okay.
And this is very important to know because, for
Yes. Okay.
example, in this patient, for example, they have also a high elevation of hydrogen SIBO. Okay,
Okay.
and this patient, but I want to show you the elevation of methane SIBO that is here. For example, this patient is positive in both, in
Okay.
hydrogen and methane. Right?
Okay.
You can see. But if
Yeah.
the diagnosis is the composition, the cell gas parts per million is elevated higher than 20, you have hydrogen SIBO. So if you can see, it is 120 in this patient. It's like
Yeah.
crazy. Hydrogen. And you can see if you have methane SIBO, if the composition of the gathered cell in measured in parts per million is higher than 10. For example, this patient is higher it has 20, so it's positive from methane SIBO.
Okay.
One of the things is important that which bacteria are the more common in these cases. So in both cases, we have the Methanobacter smithii bacteria that is very common in M. SIBO, and you have the Metanospare stamanae bacteria that is also in M. SIBO, and the other two is, for example, as Aedes clostridium, and different types of bacterial is going to cause H SIBO. For example, the
Okay.
last one is very common in the patient that eat eat immunonutrition, eat well, but it's a stress.
Okay.
It's a stress.
Okay.
This last one. So
Okay.
is very important. So the I want to tell how we can help a patient with SIBO. You can see there are specific causes, there are specific consequences, there are two types of SIBO. You can have a diagnosis with the clinical and the breath test. You
Okay.
can see is a very studied syndrome. Okay,
Okay.
and how we can help this patient, Amanda?
Well, first of all, we would have to see what they're eating. If they're seasonal eating, for example, which
Yes.
is very important to eat what is available to you seasonally and in your area. So, yeah, now it's spring. So we're whatever is growing now, whatever is available to you at that moment, and then also being aware if you are secreting in your stool, like if you have fatty stools, being aware of what that problem to see if maybe you need a digestive enzyme to help you digest the fats or
Yes,
protein.
that last one is very important. The one thing that I saw with my patients is the use of digestive
Yeah,
enzymes is going to decrease the number of bacteria, and it's going to cause to resolve two problems: the excess of bacteria of SIBO,
yeah,
and it's going to help you to absorb the nutrients
exactly.
in both ways. So there is a specific protocol for that, and that is very important for the people to know that it's very specific for every patient. It's like personalized treatment. It's not
Okay.
like, oh, let's take enzymes like crazy,
Like generic.
like generic science. Everybody, if I have fever, no, you have to go to a medical doctor, or you can go to Amanda, you can come to me, and we can help you to take the exact enzymes that you need in your case.
Yeah, specific to your case. Exactly.
Specific to your case is very important. So one of the things, because we need one of the things important is that we need to kill these bacteria. We need to kill it, and
Okay.
the traditional way is to use antibiotics.
Exactly.
But if we want like to keep in the loop, because
Yes.
one of the things is that happens when we use antibiotics. Okay, in the severe case, I use it because there is like they have 7 years with SIBO. The patient is
Exactly.
like crazy. You have to reduce the symptoms very fast because it's a long time term
Yeah.
that this is happening.
Exactly. But
But
I think what people don't understand is that when you take antibiotics, it doesn't just kill that specific one, it kills everything that it comes by. So
I always say to my patients that have this problem, if okay, we can use antibiotics, but it's like throwing a nuclear bomb to your intestinal, and
yeah.
everybody's going to die there.
Yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
but if you don't do the healthy lifestyle, if you don't say the SAT diet, the standard American diet, all the
Yes.
bacteria that were before is going to grow again.
They're gonna come back. Yes.
It's going
Exactly.
to combat.
Yes.
They're going to be like Terminator. Will be combat. I will combat.
I will be back.
I will be bad. I will be bad. That's the phrase.
Yes.
You can throw it the bomb, but he says, if you don't change your diet, I'll be
I'll be
back.
back.
And it's going to be back stronger.
Yes, exactly, because it has a resistance. That's what a lot
Yes.
of people usually like auto medicate themselves with antibiotics. They're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling like I need to take an antibiotic, so I'm just gonna take one for 3 days.
Yes. If you are a medical doctor or you can prescribe antibiotics and you are seeing this, the best antibiotics are the ones who can be absorbed to the blood. The ones who stay, for example, rifampicin is going to stay in the stomach and
Okay.
in the intestine. It's not going to be absorbed.
Okay.
So you have to find that in pharmacology. One antibiotic that doesn't go to your bloodstream.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right.
And but in cases I prefer to use deep learning about healthy lifestyle and herbal remedies that kill bacteria
Exactly.
and have antimicrobial properties. For example, I use, I don't know if it's pronounced like this, oregano,
Oregano, yes.
oregano. You can, okay, oregano.
Yes. Oregano.
Also garlic, the extract of garlic,
Garlic.
Allium sativum, is
Yes.
very power. But
Garlic.
I prefer the black garlic extract.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
We
the
also
Allium nigrum.
Okay. Could we also say that coconut oil is a good way, like an anti
We need to be caution with coconut oil if that patient have histamine intolerance. Okay, but we
Okay.
can talk about that in another episode. Right?
Okay.
Actually, we're going to talk about that in another episode. So keep tuned, keep tuned. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. But if you are sure that the patient doesn't have is high histamine
High.
intolerance,
Yes.
high.
Histamine intolerance. Yes.
You can use coconut oil because it's very
Okay.
good.
Yes.
Yes, it's very good because it's anti-inflammatory and can
It's
kill bacteria.
antimicrobial. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. One thing that is important is the berberine. Berberine?
Okay.
Berberine is very
Berberine.
powerful to kill bacteria in the duodenum. It's very
Okay.
powerful. Okay, okay. You need to be cautious with berberine. You need to know how to use it. Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, okay.
All right.
Yeah, well, and you can have the low carbohydrate and specific carbohydrate diet.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Exactly.
because one of the things that happening with the patient that can have intolerance of the absorption of some carbohydrates and can have an intolerance of lactose intolerance, fructose intolerance, and you need to study those specific cases to give to the patient a specific diet for
Okay.
his problem. It's not
Okay.
like, okay, we're going to give a diet to everyone. No, it doesn't work
Yeah.
like that. We can know and we talk about what can cause us to all the population harm and what could be good for everybody, for everyone,
Yes.
for everyone,
In general, yeah.
but in general. But when you have specific cases, you need to be specific also
Okay.
with the approach of that. So I think that we talk a lot about this. I think that we are out of time.
Yes.
Final advice for our audience, Amanda. Today my
Okay.
English
Well.
is not good. I know. Sorry for our audience that is hearing my. I'm killing the English now.
Yes. You're butchering. You're butchering the
I'm
English.
butchering the English. I know. I know.
Yes. But I think like the most important thing would be to lower your levels of stress and eat consciously without obsessing over what you're eating too, and try to find good solutions or substitutes for the sad diet, the tears diet.
The tears I like that.
Yes. And seek help if you feel that SIBO could be something that is affecting you,
Yeah, yeah,
because it can be very frustrating. I know that from like a lot of people around me who suffer with SIBO, and it's very frustrating.
yeah, yeah. And one thing that is important, has a conclusion. Yeah, you need to diagnose this. You can use the breath test.
Yes.
Treat the patient. That can involve probiotics, dietary change, natural remedies, and in severe case, antibiotics. But
Okay.
only you have to say you have to do deep learning for the
Yes.
people to keep going with his changes. And remember,
Yes.
our model,
Our motto: help you, like you first and then the
then the
rest. So
rest.
help yourself first and then you can help the rest.
Ok, Okay, I hope you like this episode. We see you next week. So
Yes.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.